Knox.
Yes, correct.
Knox, okay.
And those 4 roads there, ma'am, and to everyone here, including this gentleman here,
I'm there.
Mater, Longcrest, Bricker, and Knox, they're the 4 main roads off of 35. They are, without a doubt, terrible roads. These gentlemen and his crew can patch those roads all they want. It's just, they'll be having to patch them week after week. They have not been paved in I don't know how many years. Check your records and see how long it's been since those roads have been paved. Now, Bricker's a little bit better because they put new fire hydrants in, and I appreciate that. But yet, you know, they patched the roads with, the county did that, I'm sure. But anyway, the roads are just terrible. They did the side streets a few years ago, but I know it's been well over 20 years since I've lived on Bricker Avenue for 42 years in the same house. Those roads have not been paved for over 20 years. They're not going to get better. But if you people are just cruising around one day, drive up into Bricker Platte and check those roads out. And you'll say, this gentleman here, he's chasing his tail if he and his crew think that they're just going to patch those roads and make them better. It's not going to happen.
Okay, so next on the agenda is resolutions for consideration. We're starting with number 45.
We still got old business,
Okay.
so we need to wrap up Taft from the work session, and we still have a Dinkler issue. which is
Taft
very-
said Taft is done.
Taft's done? Okay.
Welsh is done.
So what do you want to talk about, Jim?
We've got to establish what funds we're gonna pull the retainer for the Dinkler issue.
Do we have a bill from them?
Well, they're asking for a retainer up front.
Did you give me that?
That came with paperwork for the last resolution.
Did you give me the bill?
They haven't billed us, but they sent us an agreement that was attached to the last resolution.
So when you did that resolution, you didn't provide a line item, correct? But I asked you for a
That's
meeting.
what we're working on right now. This is why I'm.
So, just so I can start off before you send, when you do a resolution, one more time, I'm gonna tell you this for the umpteenth time, you're supposed to put a line item in there, or you'll never know whether you have the money or not. You can't just say, give them $35,000 and you don't know where you're getting it from. So I would like for you to start, you and everybody else that does the resolution getting money, put in a line item so that I can verify, because I need to verify whether there's funds in those things before you guys vote on it. So this is just for information for the trustees, and you do it in the future. Okay, you may go ahead and continue.
General fund, I see 16,000 available. First line item would be audit services, there's 10,000 in that line code.
You can't take out audit services, you gotta have an audit.
Well, I know you want to defund this, Ms. Edwards, but we have no
Excuse me, we
choice.
can't take it out of audit service because we have an audit this year. That's what money is in there for. You need to pick another fund.
Okay, we've got training fund, 6,000. Okay,
If you don't plan on taking training, that's fine. It's up to the
So-
trustees, but you can't take it out of audit service.
fire, we've got contracted services for Lexipol. We haven't used Lexipol in 2 years.
What line item is that?
2111, 220, 360, 3005.
This is which one? And what?
The fire line code 2111, 220, dash 360, dash 3005. There's 5,000 available.
This is, didn't you just say this is for general fund?
Did you just say there was fire, you just said?
I had-
Right, okay.
Well, in general fund, the fiscal officer said we can't use the audit services. We don't have any audits going on, so I don't know why we can't
We
use that.
will be having an audit this year.
So when are we gonna get an engagement letter from the auditor?
She said sometime in August, November.
Okay, so that's a bill we probably won't even see till next year.
We will see something before next year.
Okay.
I told you originally 1,000.
I know you don't wanna pay this.
You don't
have
know
choice.
anything, Mr. McGuire. Oh, you think you know what you know, but you don't know
No, you
anything.
don't- you don't
That's
wanna
the
pay
problem,
this.
that's the problem. I'm the person that has the budget, okay, not you. You know nothing. So stop thinking you know something. If you knew something, you would know there was
Well,
money
even if we
available
pass
in
the
the
fund
trash
codes, you
fund.
would refuse to cut the check.
I told, there's nothing about refusing, I have nothing to do with it. Cutting the check, there's nothing to do with that. You guys have to sign it. Have you signed any checks this year?
Sure.
Okay, what one? We have $150,000 in the trash contract. And how much did we spend out of that?
We also got a letter from the city.
Excuse me.
Deficit.
Would you let me finish talking, please? Does anyone, either one of you remember how much was in the trash contract we paid for the bill? It was 119. We have almost $30,000 left in the trash contract.
So you're saying recommending pulling all the money out
Mr.
of it?
McGuire, I'm recommending that you look at the trash contract. I'm not saying to take it out of anything. You guys are the trustees. I'm trying to tell you where you can take it out of. Daily court reporter, only $1,000 in there, but you guys are not using that fund.
So we got 6,000 in training, that takes us down to 29. We've got Lexipol, which takes us to 11. So that means we need 24. Trustee Back, do you want to pull 24 out of the trash fund to get this check going or not?
Excuse me.
What do you think about using trash fund?
How much more we need to pull?
We need 24,000.
How much is in the trash?
I don't have the right balance in my. Do you guys have the up-to-date one?
How much?
That's, you can use all of
Yeah,
that.
we could use that, yes.
Okay.
So you got 31,000 to use out of the trash, right? You only need 4 more thousand, right?
We got 6,000 training.
Yeah. So we already have.
We got 5,000 in net supply, which is in the fire fund.
I don't understand.
No, so we're pulling the money out of the trash, so we don't need all that additional,
Okay.
okay? So. For 31,000, and then you could take, the, 6,000 that you said out of, was that Mexico? Oh, I'm sorry, just 5,000.
Well,
It's 35.
the balance
Yeah.
would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
training out of the general fund.
What if our new administrator needs training?
Just
You have
4,000 more.
suppose.
Yeah,
So you only need 4 out of there.
yeah, and then that'll give us the 35.
You still need to do a resolution to what fund.
I've been working
Well, we can do if we approve it in the meeting, we can do a PO to take care of the phone calls. Or I've got an allocation worksheet here, you can plug it in on the allocation worksheet for the resolution. Can I do that? So, actually, I've got it written up on a purchase order request form, so we just need to plug in the fund codes for this.
That's not how you do it.
We
As I explained to you,
have another meeting next Tuesday. So if you want to write up the resolution and get it ready, and then we can have all that taken care of with the information in that resolution, identifying where this money is coming from, and we can vote on it at that meeting and be done with it.
Okay, read back the fund codes, we're gonna use trash.
1,000, 120, 322, 3,004, 31,000.
Okay,
2111-220-360-3005,
that's the Lexipol.
4,000. You're gonna move it to 1,000, 120-319, 3,008. That's legal fees.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute, you can't, that's the 1,000 line, you're gonna move to that one.
9,
Okay,
3,008.
You're gonna move 31,000 to that line,
okay,
and then on 2111, 220, 360, that's 3,008, you're gonna move 4,000 to that line. So what you're doing, you're moving the 2111 to the 2111. You can't move them outside of the fund. You have to stay with them because that's a restricted fund. 2111 is restricted, it can't be moved to the general.
okay.
And then it will be all in legal fees, and then it will be, and the legal fees will be able to track it better, and I will be able to find it if you have questions. And if you need me to send you a sample resolution of how it should be written up, I can do that.
Okay.
But we have plenty of that on the website, I'm sure you can find some of them. Just let me know if you need it, because I won't remember.
So are you going to do the resolution, or?
We don't have a choice, McLaughlin can't touch this.
So you're going to do it, I just need to know whether you're going to do it or not.
If you're named in the lawsuit, how can you do it? If you're named in the lawsuit, how can you do it?
Good question.
That's not open for discussion,
I
Bruce.
didn't figure it would be. But as part of the resolution, are you going to direct the law firm to close the case or drag it out longer?
I'm not gonna talk legal strategy with you. As much as you'd like to confront me on a legal issue,
I'm just reading what's on the docket on the internet. They just now recently took a deposition from Mr. McLaughlin, so they're either dragging their feet or they're incompetent. And it doesn't matter what happens, the citizens of the township are gonna foot the bill. So as far as I'm concerned, it needs to be terminated to terminate the bleach. Because even if you are found guilty, the township still pays the fines, not you. And that's the way I understand the law.
they also pay Mr. McLaughlin's legal fees. As I said,
Ended.
I'm not the one that sued the township. This guy is.
Well, I know I sued the township because I see what takes place.
Right.
And
I know.
McLaughlin hasn't had his deposition. It got delayed because of the attorney fees. The whole reason we're discussing this is because of issues with our insurance claim. So,
So when we lose our insurance because it's being drug out too long, then we lose again.
He doesn't care.
It needs to be terminated. Win, lose, or draw, this issue needs to be resolved.
talk to this guy, as much as he likes.
Every
to
time,
smile.
every time it's posted, whatever your law firm is, Dinkle, is the one that's requesting an extension. Why is that?
I'm done talking about this.
You're correct, you shouldn't be. Sheila Batt should be the one driving the bus on this issue. She's the only one not named in the lawsuit.
Well, you don't have a say in that, and we've already cleared this with the attorneys.
Why don't the citizen have to say it? I'm a citizen too. We should all have to say it.
Exactly, we're paying the bill on this, the
That's right.
citizens are paying the bill on this.
Everybody in this room that's a citizen is paying the bill on that. They pay their tax.
And paying your salary.
Right. Compensation.
Any other old business? New business. Motion, new business, we have
45. 22-045.
a new business, in new business, we have on the thing is a motion to repost a job posting for the township zoning director. We've had 0 hits on the township zoning director. And in looking at the ad, it's kind of obvious, I mean, because the job we posted, $15 to $18 an hour. I mean, you flip that. So no wonder nobody's applied. We want to use the job description we had from last year to the previous zoning guy was hired under and post that on this job site. So all we want to do is make a motion to remove the one that's here now, the $15 and $18 an hour, and repost the one that was used previously last year to hire the guy that left. So I'd like to make a motion that we change the job posting for the township zoning director in our advertisement from the one that's there to the one that was used a year ago.
I second that.
Yeas or nays? Yeas, yay.
Yeah.
Okay, nays? Okay, so that passes. Trustee Mack, thank you. If you give, I tell you what, I know you have, can you just give me contact information, I'll get that clear?
For,
Get that switched?
oh, I get it taken care of, because I'm gonna have them pull the old one
Okay.
and have them post the new one.
Okay, okay.
And then I need to have them pull, because when I go, I wanna make sure I'm spending our money wisely, so I wanna make
Okay.
sure I'm doing everything I can. I want, you're welcome.
Okay, do we want to allocate any funds to advertise this? Get a little more aggressive with not just our website.
I said, let go a week or two and see what happens. We're kind of tight on funds anyway, we just spent $35,000.
And then
Okay, so next thing is resolutions for consideration. The first one is the resignation of, okay, so the resolution 0. 045.
Yeah, 45.
The Jefferson Township Board of Trustees, accept the resignations from 3 members of the Jefferson Township Fire Department. Brian Cagle, Madison Candle, and Dustin Bruner. And on here it has their dates, effective dates of resignation. Any questions, comments on the resolution?
Mr. President, these all left on good terms for other career opportunities.
They all left on good terms, for other career, that's good to know, thank you.
We appreciate their service.
Do
Okay.
we do, like the employee exit? Do we do that?
Yep. I'd like to make a motion that we adopt resolution 22-045.
I second.
Any questions or comments? Can we have a roll call vote, please? Tracy?
Trustee McGuire.
yes.
Trustee Back.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes. Motion carries.
Passing the resolution down to signature.
Okay, so the next resolution, 22-046. The Jefferson Township Board of Trustees authorized the Township Fire Chief to hire probationary non-shifted firefighter Robert C. Cook and probationary shifted firefighter Michaela M. Molesky. Did I get that close enough, guys? Okay. Okay, thank you. So, information is on there. Are you good with that, Tracy?
No, but somebody's gonna give me the information if you pass it, so let me know after that what I need to do, because I don't think we have any set procedures, and none of us have passed out. I don't know if that's what we're following or what. All I know is, I'm saying this because I have to get these people in the paper before they start work.
What's the next step, correct?
They come in to do an
Yes.
HRID day. We
Yes.
have to pay them for that day.
Yes.
That's when we get their direct deposit, their beneficiary,
Correct.
their paperwork, we get all that. So they do come in on the first day. But you decide what their start date. We just started the new pay period yesterday. Anytime in the next few days is their first start date. I get them in there, we get all the paperwork, get that to her, and they will be paid for waiting for the end of the pay period.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 22-046.
Second.
Any questions, comments? Have a roll call vote, please, Ms. Edwards?
Trustee McLaughlin,
Yes.
trustee Bass,
Yes.
trustee McGuire,
Yes.
Motion carries.
passing resolution down for signature. Thank you.
Okay, so on the agenda, people, there's two more resolutions, but those were discussed and taken care of in the work session, and they do not need a resolution that was properly taken care of. So the next resolution would be Resolution 22-047. Jefferson Township Board of Trustees approved to have the road supervisor, Kenneth Smith, help with the posting for abatement and nuisance properties in Jefferson Township. So the Ohio legislature changed the rules April of '21 and made it so that we can do this without a elected official code enforcement person necessarily doing this. And to get this moving, there's properties that we can't take care of until you do the paperwork. So I've been in communication with Kenny, and he and I will be getting together tomorrow if this passes and going through the process. There again, people don't expect all of it to be done tomorrow. We got to do them in groups. And we kind of made up a list. Kenny's done a lot of the work. Worst ones first, but we're going to work through the list and start getting some of these nuisance properties mowed and looking better. It's not going to be a golf course, but it looks a lot better than what it is today, especially if that house is next door to you. So I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 22-047.
I second.
And Ms. Edwards, I want you to cross out, somebody who made this didn't change the date when they adopted on the bottom. Can you please take a minute, cross that out, and we'll initial it as it comes through here. Wait for you, are you ready, Trace? Any questions or comments? May I have a roll call vote, please? Tracy?
Trustee McLaughlin,
Yes.
trustee McGuire,
Yes.
trustee Bass.
Yes.
passing the resolution down for signature, don't forget the initial and the date was changed. Make sure you put it back.
I know. Pin thief. My pin died, he did, quick sneak right out of it.
Put a stash of pins back
Thank you. So next on the list is, it's the first of the month, is departmental reports. Captain Flag, you're first.
Book.
You got a book, all right. Cut them trees down.
Here's two.
Oh, I gave her one. You gave her one. Oh, maybe, oh.
That's why he said, that's why he said there was good.
I can't. Huh? Sorry about that. My bad.
All right, we got March, April, and May. I was able to get May done since the meeting was the first, not the first couple days of the month, so. I'll skip over most of the statistics for the first couple of months and just give you kind of the incident narrative. March was the beginning of our new rotation. We had some new personnel move in. The months are getting warmer. We're getting busier. We've got some new blood there that's, very proactive. So some of our numbers are going to start to increase. A lot of that is just through proactive policing, self-initiated stops, the blitzes we've been running and everything. So when I get to May, I'll read kind of where we're at. Just keep in mind some of that is created by us. So it's not the offenses, but the enforcement section. March 4th, we responded to 5100 block of Derby Road on a report of a subject with a gun. Located a subject with a located an individual with a firearm. Subject was upset about some domestic issues, made some threats with the firearm, and they were arrested and charged with aggravated menacing and taken to the jail. No injuries from that incident. March 10th, First Watch crews responded to the area of Soldiers Run, Miamisburg, and Pinnacle Road on the report of a fight. When they got in the area, they located a vehicle with several subjects inside. A fight had occurred between two subjects, with one of them being assaulted. The victim refused to sign a criminal complaint against the suspect. However, that suspect was found to be in possession of drugs. They were arrested on obstruction of justice and possession of a controlled substance. March 30th, 3rd Watch Jefferson and county crews responded to the 1200 block of South Union Road on the report of a shooting. Upon arrival, the subject suffering from a gunshot wound was located. The victim was shot in the leg and suffered non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect fled the scene, but the detectives were able to identify the suspected shooter, got them identified, and then upon subsequent follow-up with the victim, they stopped cooperating. So went little to nowhere. All of the Jefferson Township radars and the township patrol cars were certified during the month of March. That's just where they come out, they check the calibration accuracy of those radar units to make sure they're good for patrol use and actually citing people for speed offenses. So those are good for the next year. We'll get them redone next March, but just know that everybody out here is solid for the upcoming year. For April, on April 10th, 3rd Watch Jefferson County crews responded to the 300 block of Albers on a robbery and abduction complaint. Upon arrival, deputies learned within the same week, so this was kind of reported several days after the fact, but the individual had been assaulted and held against her will. The suspect had taken the victim's cell phone, and an offense report was generated and forwarded for investigation, and her story later changed, I found out, so that is not going to be a prosecutable one either. On April 21st, 2022, 3rd Watch Jefferson crews responded to the 6000 block of Derby Road on the report of a B&E. Upon arrival, we were pointed to several barns that had been broken into with numerous items removed. No suspect info was obtained on those. There's and I'll read that again here in May, but there's kind of a pattern of a lot of individuals roaming the more rural parts of the township, knocking on doors, peering in windows, looking at barns. So just anybody that lives out anywhere in the township, but especially right now, the rural sections are getting hard. Just if you see something, it doesn't look right, call. At least let us come out and get an ID on the individual. We'll do a field interview with them, try to establish just some of the groundwork. If we do later find that a bunch of stuff has been broken into, damaged, we can use that information to put a subject potentially in an area at a given time and backtrack some of that. So even if we run across them and we can't prove anything criminal at that point in time, we at least will ID them so that if something gets called in later that night when somebody comes back home, we'll have that. April 28th, third watch crews handled an aggravated menacing in the 5100 block of Tucson. An individual threatened to shoot another individual before driving off. The suspect was gone on arrival, and a complaint was completed for Area 1 Court for prosecution. For the month of May, overall crime increased by 59%. That's 102 more calls than this time last year. Our Part 1 violent crimes, our homicides, things of that nature, it's all no change. We're flatlined there, 0. But our Part 1 property crimes increased by 47%, which was plus 21. Our Part 2 violent crimes, simple assaults, things of that nature, increased by 46%, another plus 21. And our Part 2 property crimes increased by 76%, which is plus 13. Areas along 3rd Street and US 35 saw the most activity. If you look at the map, if you picked up one of these out there, the heat signature on the map just kind of shows you the most active areas, with the reds being the most active, and that was along 3rd Street, west of the connector for the most part. So that's where we saw the most of our activities. We had a community concern made reference to possible drug activity in the area of Old Road and Eshbaugh. That was forwarded to the NCSO Daily for all crews out here to do extra checks on the area and keep an eye on that. And then we got a complaint about a possible vacant house being used for drugs on West 3rd and the 5300 block, so we're keeping an eye on things there. And on May 3rd, 2022, an armed suspect rammed a Dayton police car, led law enforcement on a high-speed pursuit through Dayton, Trotwood, and Jefferson Township. Jefferson Township and county crews did become